Hi everyone. Hi Luigi. First, it's a great pleasure to have this conversation with you. Our relationship started a few years ago in 2016, I believe. You participated in the first edition on PBEX Experience, our international event of personal branding, one of our brands. And you have been very generous, participated in several editions until today. Luigi is one of the authorities we have in the personal branding market, from Italy to the world, and it is an honor to have you here. Well, this occasion is more special because together we have something very good to communicate it to the market. Welcome, Luigi, and please introduce yourself to our audience.
Ciao Daniela, it's a great pleasure. Hi everybody. Really a honor and a pleasure to be here with you for this great news we're going to share with you very, very soon. Yes, of course, we met so many years ago and it was a fantastic journey to see what you have done for personal branding, Daniela. It's a great success you're having over there. I'm very happy for you and also for the personal branding movement around the world. Your contribution is really precious. So it's me. I should thank you for that. And it's been an honor to be with you since the first edition of the PBEX because, of course, personal branding it really needs a lot of attention, a lot of audience to attend this kind of events because personal branding is very important today. Let me introduce myself very briefly. I'm Luigi Centenaro. I come from Italy. I work a lot in Europe, in European countries, and I deal with personal branding when it comes to corporates, when it comes to companies. I work with a lot of companies across Europe, but also everywhere in the world, in order to help them to brand their most important resource, their person.
Great. To start, Luigi, I have a hard question to you. What is your concept about personal branding?
Yes, of course, everybody should give their own perspective, their own idea about personal branding because
Mhm.
it depends where you're coming from. If you're a marketer, personal branding has more, a marketing declination. If you're a coach, personal branding is slightly different. But at the end, it's always about how a person is making a big name for herself or for himself. So the idea of making a name, making a big name in order to be known by your audience, and it's about expectations. What kind of expectation you generate? What kind of expectation people should have when they know about you? When the first time they come to know about you, they meet you, or maybe even before meeting you in person or dealing with you for business, for example.
Mhm.
Personal branding is about that, generating excellent, fantastic, awesome expectation and to differentiate yourself from others because otherwise we are, commodities. It's
Mhm.
like oil, it's like aluminum bars. If we are undifferentiated items, if we are, just background noise, so we are just part of the background
Mhm.
noise, nobody will notice us. And nowadays, it's more and more necessary to emerge, to stand apart, to stand out, because we live in a such complex, uncertain era. In particular, when it comes to business and work, there is a
Mhm.
lot of noise, and we need to emerge. And this is why we need a paradigm in order to do
Mhm.
that, a methodology. The methodology is personal branding. It's
Yeah.
not just marketing. It's a really important paradigm that companies are using since many, many years ago to differentiate themselves, to generate expectation, to be known by the market. And now we can easily apply it also to people, thanks to many years of research, many years of books, methodologies, the work you've done over there, our visual tools that we will talk later. So now it's possible, it's easier than before thanks to digital, thanks to the tools that are
Mhm.
around. So personal branding now, is a big important paradigm.
Perfect. I agree with you. And Luigi, when we talk about organizations, why personal branding is so important to companies?
So when I explain personal branding, I always use a very simple picture. I show people a picture of an Italian bottle of wine, Italian, of course, and I tell them, what is the bottle of wine doing right now to influence you? And people start mentioning, the packaging, the label, the words, and they
Mhm.
start saying, maybe the alcohol level. In Italy, the alcohol level is very influential, and
Mhm.
the origin of the wine, the color, all those things are basically really, really very important in order to used by the bottle in order to influence the person looking at the bottle. But why? Because there are competitors always for
Mhm.
bottle of wines, right? But there's also another
Mhm.
problem that you can't taste the wine in advance. You have to trust with, the bottle is uncorked and you have to
Mhm.
trust it. You can't even taste it before buying it. And this is why you need to do personal branding because many people will have to trust you in advance. And this is why you need to have the right LinkedIn profile. You need to have the right website. You need to have the right Instagram profile because people will look at it and they will need to trust it in advance. How many times, when it comes to companies, people have to trust in advance other people in the company? So when
Yeah.
trust is around, personal branding must be there because people need to deliver trust and people
Wow.
are the trust channel of company. And so personal branding can be applied in many, many cases. Wherever trust is needed, you need the personal branding. You will need personal branding for sales force, personal
Mhm.
branding for the leadership, personal branding for the executives, personal branding for the CEO, personal
Mhm.
branding inside the company, personal branding when it comes to changing roles, if you need to move into another role, if you need to
Mm.
hire people. So there are so many applications of personal branding when it comes to, how do you pronounce it, empresas, how do you
Empresas.
say it?
Yeah.
Empresas, exactly.
Perfect. Yeah. Now, we always talking with leaders. Now about leadership. Why leaders need to know how develop their personal brands?
Yeah, that's a very important question. So leadership means also to, to lead, to go first. People trust you and then you lead them. It's not the opposite. It doesn't go works in the opposite way. They have to trust you in advance. So you see,
Mhm.
trust is important again.
Mhm.
But many times also happens that leaders are known for their reputation, not for their because you deal with them. I was working in the corporate environments back in the days, and I didn't even know my manager. Never met him. I just knew him, by name.
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
knew he was around. I knew he was very important, but I just knew about his vision. I trusted him because he has an excellent background. I trusted him because he was very credible. So I trusted him, and I stayed in the company for many years because I was
Mhm.
trusting his leadership. But that was because of his personal brand, wasn't it? I never dealt with him. I dealt with his personal brand. So even if you know your leader, sometimes you work with him over there, of course, every day,
Mhm.
you might not know about his credibility, his vision,
Mhm.
his
Yeah.
or her credibility, her vision, her ideas. And so personal branding is very important when you want as a leader to communicate those, to make sure that everybody knows about this. And when people know about, you're very, very clear about your ideas, your vision, your purpose, why
Mhm.
you do what you do. This is personal branding. This is the basic of personal
Yeah.
branding. If you do that properly, you immediately start having people around you following you.
Mhm.
So you can apply the personal branding methodology and paradigm even to leaders. And we have done, you have done it yourself in our countries, in our regions so many times, didn't we, Daniela? So we have seen these working very, very well so many times, and it's really, really important.
Wow, fantastic. Let's talk about the book.
Oh,
Okay, the book.
ta-da!
Ta-da! So this book is unique in the world because talk about personal branding throughout various positions in a company. Luigi, what is the main message that personal branding nas empresas can share?
That's really the core of the book. Personal branding is not just a tool you need to look sometimes for and you need to learn with some training. Personal branding is a governance tool. It's a tool for governance, for corporate, for company governance. It's another managerial tool for managers. So it's not just one of those buzzwords around, and we demonstrated it in the book because we structured the book into many chapters and sections. Every section is an application area to a part of the company. A part of the company: governance, HR, management, leadership, employer branding, communication, branding, marketing, Salesforce. So this is the main message of the book.
Perfect. And this is the Portuguese edition. And I'm so happy and honored to be part of that. In this book, I talk about identity, about image, and about reputation of the companies and the professionals. I'm also talk about public relation because it's my first area, and of course, personal branding. I share the concept, Luigi, that all professionals should be entrepreneurs in their companies. In my particular vision, PB can help a lot the workers' mindset and get results for their careers. So this year, in 2022, personal branding celebrates its 25th anniversary. It's still young. How can we make this message stronger around the world?
Oh, yes, 25 years,
Yeah.
And still young, you're right,
Yeah.
still young. And we need to explain the word out, the message of the book. Governance, it's not just a buzzword. And thank you so much for the contribution you gave to the book. You make the book excellent, really, Daniela. Thank you so much. Because the ideas and the methodologies and the vision you added to the book made it very, very precious. I'm sure people will enjoy reading it because it's a complete 360 approach to the matter. We need to explain to the world that personal branding is a part of marketing, it's of governance. It has the standing and the level of importance that everybody should give to personal branding. And thanks to the contribution of the three of us, I'm sure your readers will enjoy and you will have a lot of ideas to apply personal branding into your organizations, or if you are a strategist, a consultant, a coach, to your projects. We hope to give you inspirations, ideas, and tools.
Of course. I'm curious, Luigi, where you see the personal branding in 5, 10 years?
Yeah, it's a hard question. I thought about that because I get this question about the future. One of the main thing about the future is machines, computers, artificial intelligence. So even nowadays, if you think about it, we are having this video conversation, and the viewers are watching us.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, our LinkedIn profile is working on our behalf. It's there. It's working our LinkedIn profile. Maybe somebody is even checking my LinkedIn profile. Thank you so much. Connect with me, please. And the LinkedIn profile, is he doing a good job to introduce me to you? I hope so. Is Daniela's one doing a good job? They are machines. They are not people. They are there. They are robots introducing us on our behalf, right? So in the future, they might introduce us to other machines. So there will be a machines of Luigi introducing to another machine,
Wow.
isn't it? So, I mean, sooner or later, we will see a lot of machine to machine interaction. And personal branding will be even more important there because we have to program those machines properly to do a good job. So if we don't have a clear strategy first in our mind, we won't be able to do that. And the machine won't work on our behalf, but against us. And as already many LinkedIn profile without personal branding are really bad, working against professionals, leaders. They are even making a very, very bad work, isn't it? Because they are ruining the reputation and the image of these people. So pay a lot of attention to machines because the future will be about that.
Wow, yeah, it's true. I don't know if it's if happening in Italy, but here in Brazil we have already some companies with a mentality that if they invest in their employees, headhunters or competitors would steal their professionals. I have my particular vision about this. If the companies think this way, uh, it already lost their talents. What would you say to them?
If nobody's is if your talents are not, if your talents are not, let's say, ready to be stolen somehow, you don't have talent. And it's a nightmare because if your people are not good enough to be stolen or recruited by others, there must be a problem with your talents. So it's true. It's true that if people are more visible, but
Yeah.
on the other side we have another problem. If they are invisible, they are anonymous, they are not credible. So retaining people is another governance, methodology. It's another
Yeah.
governance approach. Retaining people is not related to personal branding. It's how you make people feel and live the company, and if you make them live their career. And then there is also another problem, another opportunity. What is in common between a manager and their people, his people, or her people? Only one thing: the career. Managers have careers. People have careers.
Yeah.
Okay, managers say, yeah, but my people believe in the company and they love the company. They might do. They might do. Maybe yes, maybe no. Maybe they just fake it. But the only thing everybody is caring about is their own career, isn't it? If you help your people to have the best career, to have the best life, and to be happy about that, they will make a personal brand automatically, and they also will be with you for a long time, your talent. So remember, it's about their, as you say, if you make them feel as an entrepreneur, yeah, if you help them to be more self-directed, they will be more time with you, because they will love, because they will care also about their career, about their future during the process.
Well, can this book generate benefits only to career professionals or to solo and entrepreneurs as well?
But yes, because of course the application, as you know, are to many kind of situations and department division in the company. So it's good for people working in the companies that want to have a career as leaders, as managers, as a CEO. Because every time I coach a CEO, he or she tells me, I need to work for the next 5 years for this company. But then in 5 years, who knows? So yes, for the career, but if you have a small company, the information, or maybe you are a solopreneur, the
Solopreneur.
information in the book will be also helpful for you.
Yeah.
Also because you will need to maybe deal with partners, external organization, corporates or companies as customer. And so you understand a lot of things by reading the book about them. You will see.
Perfect. Now let's talk about trust, credibility. As you know, we have Edelman, for example, which investigates trust around the world. What is the impact for organizations when CEOs' reputation and influence are shared to the market?
Yeah, there are many numbers and research on that. We have seen, you, I'm sure, also in our projects, a lot of results. So when the people start trusting CEOs, suddenly a lot of things happens because when the brand is around of CEOs, the CEO brand is around, suddenly, the media start asking for opinions, interviews, and speech delivered to Congress, and then part of book presentations or book introduction or book chapter or co-authoring of books, and then articles, and then participations. So many opportunity start to happen without paying, without asking publicists. They start to happen because CEO starts to be out there. And so suddenly this trust, this credibility, but also not only trust and credibility, this positioning, because it means that if you are trusted, credible, but also well positioned, it means you are relevant. Specific group of people will ask you about you as a leader, will ask about you as a CEO, and suddenly the conversation will start to go around, and the name will be spread, and the company will get a lot of benefit because it's difficult to get a company out there in the media, but the person is not so difficult. It's possible. It's easier.
Yeah. Luigi, we have in our book, I would to share with our audience this infographic about the 7 levels of the CEO brand. It's so interesting, and I believe that we will have many CEOs. Yeah, these many CEOs watching this conversation. Talk a little about this with us, please.
Yes. I had to print down. I told Daniela the Italian version because I'm not so good with my Brazilian, so I
Portuguese.
should learn a little bit of Portuguese and Brazilian, and of course I'm not good at all. But so I have the Italian version here printed down.
Okay.
So okay, I'm sorry about that.
No problem.
And let's say that we noticed this pattern when we started working with CEOs. We noticed that they were just working a lot internally at the very beginning. As you see, I would say ausência. How do you say in Portuguese?
Yeah, ausência.
Ausência.
Ausência
So,
ou incoerência,
or
incoherence.
incoherence, even worse. So, nothing out there, or the wrong information out there. Very bad. And it is very difficult. There is always a good reason why there is something like that. So
Yeah.
sometimes it can be tough starting a personal branding project, or a very top-down communication. Yeah, I am the CEO. I am
Yeah.
right always. The king is there.
I'm the boss.
So I'm the boss. So, and they go out there, and it's like on LinkedIn, where we see these posts of people sharing their opinion to our, to the rest of the world, because we are waiting for it. And nobody cares. And then, okay, sometimes we have CEO doing a good job when it comes to internal communication. the third level. So
Mm-hmm.
internal communication sometimes can be so they don't go out there. They just use the internal touch points for to communicate with the people, with the internal communities, and they're good. Sometimes they're doing a very good job. And then there are some CEOs that I'm just interested in selling. So every time they go out there is in order to underline a product. So they go there introducing a product, a feature, or something that is happening, and they are enthusiasts. They love it, and and sometimes they are good at using their personal brand for that. Or it's about only lobbying. It's about generating leads, generating opportunities, and sometimes CEOs are good when it comes to sharing their I don't know working with some community, some lobby, or doing a good job with the influence centers. And in that case they don't go out there so much in the public. You don't know about them, but they're very well known in their industry. And then there is the moment where CEOs goes out and engage with the audiences, maybe even public, but most of the time they engage with the clients, customers, partners, and they start to communicate with them. They go to congress, they go they participate to media that are in the industry very well known, vertical medias. And then there is where they start focusing on the public opinion. This is where the CEOs becomes a very good person, and they start loving everybody, and they start being a very good boy, a very good guy, and they are all about their reputation, their company reputation, and the company is sustainable suddenly, and the company is innovative. Suddenly, they do a lot of good things for the society and the communities. Sometimes it's very, very not authentic. Sometimes it's very authentic. It's purpose driven and it's lovely. Sometimes here you need to help CEOs to have the right purpose and vision. I'm sure you do as well. To me, often it happens that they have to spend some time with the CEOs and work on his or her vision in order to spread the right ideas to the public opinion. The best one is the best level is where branding is there. So the CEO is differentiated, strong purpose, big vision, big values, a lot of competence, and he does a very good job using media in the proper way to become a brand. It is where sometimes it can be even tricky. We can see some examples around now of people founding, buying electric companies, cars, buying social media, famous social media outlets like Twitter, for example, going out there and becoming very, very well known by the audience. And I'm referring, of course, to Elon Musk as a CEO that is using every possible opportunity to be on the media. Sometimes he can be, you love him or you hate him. I'm not judging, but I know he's doing a very good job to be known. He's known by everybody around, even by my mother knows Elon Musk. So he's doing a good job somehow. Also,
Exactly.
because you can understand just looking at this picture, what is your CEO?
Yeah,
Where is he
exactly.
right now? If you need
Exactly.
to fill some gap.
Yeah. And your next step. What is your next step? Perfect. Luigi, we have another image, a great image in our book. It's about online reputation, another important theme. This is interesting because from LinkedIn, show us the effect of real life and versus alter ego. All the time, I believe we are making promises to our audience, and what is the impact in their personal and company's image if professionals are not true about themselves in social media, not only in LinkedIn, only in general social media, can it generate a kind of crisis, for example?
Yeah, possibly yes. The funny thing is, I ask you, everybody now, a rhetorical question. Do you know anybody that is not as good as you, but has more success? Everybody does, right? We know people that are very good at selling themselves, even if they are not authentic. And so it's true. Personal branding works very, very well, unfortunately, even if it's not true. Because if are if you can make it and you're not authentic you can do a very long journey, because sometimes I've seen people doing a long journey even if they weren't authentic. But sooner or later something will happen. Sooner or later, if you are not very careful with your personal branding strategy, even when people, for example, introduce you to others, saying the right things, using the right words, then something can be mistakenly written somewhere. And then you're not there. You're not there stopping it, because the digital goes faster, and you maybe suddenly something happens and you are out there as a fake person. So very dangerous. You don't
Very.
control digital. So
Yeah.
it's very important that you control the strategy at least. And then you can correct it very, very soon if something is wrong. You understand that something is dangerous in advance. So it's very important that companies pay a lot of attention to the profiles of their people, and do training, a lot of training, and empowers them to be good at personal branding, in order to don't risk reputational crisis.
It's important to say it doesn't happen in Brazil, only in Italy, okay? The alter
Everywhere.
ego, no, doesn't happen in Brazil.
No, only in Italy. You're right, of course. Not in Brazil, not in Portugal,
No,
or in
no.
Italy, and maybe in Spain, probably.
Maybe in Spain. I have another point to talk with you, Luigi. I think some organizations can be afraid that their salespeople have a personal brand stronger and take their clients to competitors. We talk about this in the book. How important is PB to the sales force?
Salesforce now is changing a lot. There are many researchers out there, from McKinsey, from the big three companies, and also from other institutions, about the new role of sales. If your sales are transactional, so there is a product, somebody buys it, goodbye.
Uh-huh.
You don't need personal branding. But if you need to explain, to do some consulting, to do some need analysis, and then give an advice, a suggestion, and then integrate your product, or have the customer is not pretty sure of the product he should select, then you need trust. You need credibility. The salesperson need to be credible,
Yeah, a lot.
trusted, an authority. Otherwise, customers, clients, they don't trust them. So personal brand salespeople now are changing and becoming more not transactional, but value based. They are consulting people. And in this case, when people move, every profession moves from being transactional to, let's say, consultational somehow. Here you need a personal brand. So this is why we work. I'm sure you do a lot over there. A lot with Salesforce. We work with thousands of salespeople in Europe, in order to help them to become more credible, digital, to become more known. And then what about lead generation? Are your people in sales just going around with a bag, knocking at doors? They are doing marketing, aren't they? Now they are looking for a target. They are creating communication initiatives. They are doing market initiatives. They are doing events. They are doing posts on LinkedIn. And they need to have a strategy. Not every customer, but the right customer
The
for
right
them,
customer.
because so we need to attract the right customer. This is why I think personal for salespeople, no personal branding, it's impossible nowadays.
Great. I would like to hear you about another strategic public in the companies. It's the HR professionals. This is so important. How can we sell the PB to the HR department so they can resell to their company?
Very, very important to help HR. HR are agents of change.
Yeah.
They're always out there understanding what's happening in the in the academy, in the universities, in the intelligentsia, and they are picking the right things in order to bring those to their managers. And sometimes it's difficult for them because they go out there and there is personal branding. It's important for your sales force. And the man, yes, you HR, what do you understand about business? We need to explain personal branding in the way that the book introduced, in a simple way, using a corporate jargon, corporate language, business language, because HR sometimes, they are about work psychology. And it's important, and it's at the core of personal branding. On the other side, their manager, they speak business language. So we need to help HR to explain the applications of personal branding to their people in a simple way. And also HR people can apply personal branding in their department, in their organization, because personal branding for them can be applied for employer branding, because people choose your companies, guys, because of your people
Yeah.
that are there and that are outstanding, and it's visible also. It's clear. We can read on LinkedIn about your people, the life in your company. So employer branding. Personal branding is important for in order to help people to move in new direction in the company, because if they have a good brand inside the company, they will know about them. And so many times HR asks us to help them to be to help their people to be more visible in the company, because sometimes you don't even know people working on the other side of the nation or the country. By the way, nowadays it's even worse because there is Zoom,
Zoom.
there's Teams, so
Yeah.
we don't even meet our colleagues. So we need more personal brand in order to to stay in contact, to not lose sight. So this is why, for example, HR needs to understand that they really can apply personal branding as a governance tool to the rest of their organization.
Perfect. We have, Luigi, here many executives who comes to us in new brand company, not for their companies, but by themselves. Do you believe when the companies doesn't have the mindset or the budget to invest in their talents, should be the employees look for PB by themselves? Could this practice put their jobs at risk if the company is discovering, for example? What do you think about this?
I don't think there is any risk, because I'm sure that you, as I do, when you work with their personal brand, you work in a way that delivers value to their corporates as well. This is really important, because you don't do personal branding if you don't go out there and apply it to your job. So it's not going there and saying, "Hi, everybody, I'm looking for a job." It's going out there. I'm a very happy manager in my own company. I'm doing personal branding because I wanted to attract good visibility to the company, and then it reflects on you. This is the best way to do it. So I think people should do it on their own if the company is not, intelligent enough to do it, to invest. And after some time, we are seeing companies saying, "Oh my God, you are doing a very good job. We want you to help the rest of the organization to make personal branding." So you will be an inspiration, a leader, a thought leader for your organization if you choose Daniela's company for doing this project. And by the way, it's funny because I'm Italian, and we Italian we like fashion and luxury, as you probably know. I'm sure you also do that in Brazil and Portugal. We got a lot of brands, and it's funny that I see people with Gucci bags, thousands of euros, and they go around with their Gucci bags. And maybe they don't spend money for the most important thing, their career, their work.
I think the same.
It's crazy, isn't it? So much, it's expensive. And then I look at their watch. And then you go around with a big car. And then you don't invest in your image,
Exactly.
your reputation.
Perfect.
The most important thing. So spend less with Italian brands and spend more with Daniela's company.
Oh, so nice. We are getting to the end of our meeting. So please, your last thoughts on personal branding, of course, our book.
Yeah, I really want to reinforce the main concept, governance. It's a tool for managers. It's not a tool only for people. So if you read the book, you will see so many example application, methodologies, case studies. And if we didn't convince you in this video, I'm sure you can do it by reading the book. So trust us, trust our brand, and please also let's connect. Let's connect on LinkedIn. I'm curious. I want to know readers online, digitally, because I'm really, Daniela, I had to thank you so much. I'm really excited to be over there in Brazil, in Portugal.
Thank you.
So far away from my company, so many hours away. It's crazy, isn't it? And this happened only because of our personal brand.
Exactly. So we invite you to visit the personal branding nasempresas.com, where we share several free tools for you develop your personal brand, like PB Canvas, Networking Canvas, Personal SWOT Matrix, Brand You 360. Buy this book for yourself. Give this book to your boss, your friend. We believe that this book can generate a lot of value for your company and business as well. Position the key people. Luigi, thank you so much, and I will see you at the Global Marketing. Ciao.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Daniela. Bye, everybody.